Hello, 90-day family. Grab your tea or your chai in honor of our favorite couple, because we need to talk. And I mean really talk. If you've been following the roller coaster saga of Jenny Slatin and Sumit Singh, you know their road to happiness hasn't just been bumpy. It's been full of potholes, roadblocks, and emotional detours. From secret marriages to disapproving in-laws who threatened to disown them, these two have fought harder for love than almost anyone else in the franchise. But just when we thought they might finally be settling into a peaceful life in India, a new storm is brewing. And this time, it's not coming from Sumit's mom, Sadhna, it's coming from inside the house. Well, from inside Sumit's circle of friends. We are diving deep into the latest explosive drama where Sumit's friend decided to play the role of the dream crusher, labeling Sumit's cafe aspirations as totally doomed. And let me tell you, Jenny's reaction? It is everything we love about her. She is fiercely protective, suspicious, and loudly proclaiming, "I don't trust him." Let's unpack this messy, emotional situation. The dream. A cafe and independence. First, let's set the emotional stage. Why does this business matter so much? For years, we've watched Sumit struggle to find his footing. He's dealt with the immense pressure of his traditional Indian family, the stigma of marrying an older American woman, and the financial realities of life. For Jenny, who uprooted her entire existence in Palm Springs to live in a country where she didn't speak the language or know the customs, security is everything. The idea of opening a cafe/food business wasn't just about money for Sumit. It was about identity. It was about proving to the world, and maybe to himself, that he could stand on his own 2 feet. It was a symbol of their future together. When someone has a dream that fragile and that important, you treat it with care, right? You nurture it. Well, apparently Sumit's friend didn't get that memo. The friend who became the critic. We've seen Sumit's friends play a huge role in their story before. Sometimes they are the voice of reason, and sometimes they stir the pot. But this recent interaction felt different. It felt personal. When Sumit presented his business ideas, looking for support and camaraderie, he was met with a wet blanket of negativity. His friend didn't just offer constructive criticism, he essentially predicted total failure. He called the cafe business doomed before it even really had a chance to breathe. Can you imagine? You sit down with someone you trust, pouring your heart out about your passion project, and they look at you and say, "Yeah, that's going to crash and burn." It's gut-wrenching. It feeds into every insecurity Sumit already has. The friend cited the difficulties of the market, the competition, and perhaps hinted that Sumit wasn't cut out for the grind. While realism is important in business, there is a fine line between being a realist and being a hater, and in Jenny's eyes, this friend leaped right over that line. Jenny Slatin, the mama bear, comes out now. Let's talk about our girl Jenny. If there is one thing we know about Jenny Slatin, it is that she rides or dies for Sumit. She has put up with catfishing, secret wives, screaming matches with in-laws, and living in isolation. She didn't go through all that trauma just to let some random friend destroy Sumit's confidence. Jenny's reaction to the negativity was immediate and visceral. She accused the friend of deliberately spreading negativity and trying to sabotage Sumit's mental state. "I don't trust him," Jenny declared, and honestly, I felt that in my soul. Jenny's intuition has been honed by years of people trying to tear them apart. She looked at this friend and didn't see a concerned pal, she saw a threat. She saw someone who was perhaps jealous of Sumit's newfound freedom, or simply someone who enjoys being the rain cloud on a sunny day. Her anger comes from a place of deep love. She sees how hard Sumit tries. She sees the pain in his face when he feels like a disappointment. So when this friend started listing all the reasons the cafe would fail, Jenny went into protective mode. Why Jenny's reaction is so relatable. We have all been there, haven't we? The protective partner. Even if you are mad at your partner, the second an outsider attacks them, you defend them. It's the us against the world mentality. The fear of failure. Jenny knows that if this business fails, it puts a huge strain on their marriage and their finances. She needs positive energy around them, not doom and gloom. Intuition. Sometimes you just get a bad vibe from someone in your partner's life. You can't always explain it, but you know they aren't rooting for you. Jenny is sensing that this friend might actually want to see Sumit fail just to be proven right. Is the business actually doomed? Let's play devil's advocate for a second. Is the friend right? The food industry is notoriously brutal. The failure rate for cafes is high. Regardless of whether you are in New York City or New Delhi, Sumit has a history of being a bit idealistic. He loves the idea of things, but the execution hasn't always been his strong suit. Maybe the friend was trying to save Sumit from financial ruin. Maybe he was trying to be the harsh voice of reason that Sumit's parents used to be. But here is the problem. It's not about what he said. It's about how he said it. You can tell a friend to be cautious without crushing their spirit. You can look at a business plan and say, "Hey, let's look at these risks," instead of saying, "This is doomed." The friend's approach lacked empathy, and in a high-stakes emotional environment like 90-Day Fiance, empathy is currency. The fallout: trust issues and isolation. This conflict highlights a massive issue for the couple, who is actually on their team. They have cut ties or have strained relationships with so much of Sumit's family. If Sumit starts losing his friends too because Jenny doesn't trust them, or because they are unsupportive, their world gets smaller and smaller. Isolation is dangerous for a marriage. They can't just be everything to each other 24/7. Sumit needs male bonding, and Jenny needs friends who speak English and understand her culture. When trust breaks down within their social circle, it puts more pressure on the two of them to be perfect for one another. Jenny's accusation that the friend is spreading negativity suggests she is ready to cut him out. She doesn't have time for bad vibes. She is in her golden years. She wants peace, love, and a successful husband. If you aren't bringing that to the table, Jenny Slatton has no problem showing you the door. Why we are rooting for Sumit and Jenny. Despite the drama, the cringe moments, and the questionable decisions, the fanbase generally wants Sumit and Jenny to win. Why? Because they are survivors. We want Sumit's cafe to succeed not just because we like coffee, but because we want to see him silence the doubters. We want him to look at that friend and his parents and say, "Look, I did this. We are happy. We are successful." When Jenny defends him, she is defending their right to a happy ending. She is saying that despite the age gap and the culture clash, they are a legitimate team capable of building a legitimate life. The emotional stakes are sky high. If the cafe fails, the friend gets to say, "I told you so," and that would be devastating for Sumit's ego. If it succeeds, it's the ultimate vindication. Final thoughts: the power of belief. At the end of the day, this story isn't really about a cafe, it's about belief. Sumit needs someone to believe in him. For a long time, nobody did. Now he has Jenny, who believes in him so fiercely she will attack anyone who doubts him. But he also needs his friends. It's heartbreaking to see a friendship soar over business, but it's also a reminder that when you are chasing a dream, you have to be careful who you share it with. Not everyone has the vision. Not everyone wants you to soar. So Team Jenny or Team Realist Friend? Are you with Jenny, thinking the friend is a toxic negativity spreader who needs to back off? Or do you think the friend is just trying to save Sumit from making a costly mistake? Whatever happens, one thing is for sure: Jenny Slatton is watching, and she is not afraid to fight for her man. What do you think? Is Sumit's business idea a disaster waiting to happen, or is his friend just jealous? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.